In 1941, a man in rural America could lose his job on Monday and still feed his family by Friday without asking anyone for help. He could grow food in exhausted soil, repair a broken roof before winter, purify river water after a flood, and survive months without stepping inside a single store. By 1991, most of his grandchildren could not do any of those things. That was not coincidence. Number 15 on this list slowly disappeared from schools after World War II. Number 9 became so restricted that entire neighborhoods stopped practicing it. And number 4 was replaced by a product industry worth billions of dollars every year. These 20 forgotten skills once protected ordinary families from economic collapse, food shortages, and dependence on distant systems. Then convenience replaced necessity, corporations replaced knowledge, and generation by generation, the memory faded. Hit that subscribe button. Music. Let us count down the 20 forgotten survival skills modern society quietly trained people to abandon. Number 20, repairing clothing by hand. Before fast fashion filled closets with disposable clothing, Americans repaired what they owned. A ripped sleeve was stitched, not thrown away. Torn overalls were patched at the knees 3 or 4 times before being replaced. Mothers kept sewing kits in kitchen drawers the same way families today keep phone chargers. Boys learned to sew fishing nets and repair work gloves. Girls learned how to hem dresses and reinforce seams strong enough to last years. During the Great Depression, clothing was too expensive to waste. Flour sacks became shirts. Old blankets became coats. Worn-out pants were cut down into shorts for younger children. By the 1970s, cheap imported clothing made repair seem pointless. Sewing classes vanished from schools. Clothing became temporary. Today, most people cannot repair a ripped pocket without watching an online tutorial. The fabric did not get weaker. The knowledge disappeared. Number 19. Growing food in poor soil. Farmers in the 1930s understood that healthy crops did not come from luck. They came from understanding the land. Families rotated crops to keep soil alive. Beans restored nitrogen. Corn drained it. Clover repaired exhausted fields naturally. Wood ash from fireplaces was scattered across gardens to return minerals to the ground. Kitchen scraps became compost instead of garbage. Children knew how to tell healthy soil from dead dirt just by smell and texture. Then industrial fertilizers arrived in force after World War II. Chemical agriculture produced larger harvests quickly, but it also replaced centuries of practical soil knowledge with bags purchased from stores. Within 2 generations, many Americans no longer understood how food actually grows. They only understood how to buy it. Number 18, preserving meat without electricity. Long before freezers filled suburban garages, families preserved meat using smoke, salt, and air. Hams hung from rafters for months. Beef was packed in salt barrels. Fish were dried outdoors on wooden racks under the sun. Smokehouses stood behind rural homes across America, slowly curing meat over hardwood fires until it could survive an entire winter without spoiling. These techniques were not hobbies. They were survival systems. A family that lost power for weeks could still eat. Refrigeration changed that. By the 1960s, preserving meat became industrialized. Food security moved from the backyard to the supermarket aisle. Today, a 3-day blackout empties grocery shelves faster than most people realize. Number 17, reading animal behavior for danger. Rural families once paid close attention to animals because animals noticed danger first. Chickens grew quiet before storms. Horses became restless before blizzards. Dogs sensed strangers long before people heard footsteps. Birds disappearing suddenly from trees often meant severe weather was approaching. Farmers treated these signs seriously because generations of observation proved they worked. Modern life separated people from nature so completely that most stopped noticing animal behavior at all. We replaced awareness with notifications and alarms. But animals. Number 15, cooking without recipes. Depression-era cooking relied on instinct, memory, and resourcefulness. Women rarely measured ingredients exactly because food changed constantly, depending on the season and what was available. Bread dough was judged by touch. Soup was built from leftovers. Meals stretched with potatoes, beans, and homemade broth. A chicken fed a family for days because every piece was used. Bones became soup stock. Fat became cooking grease. Nothing disappeared into the trash. Modern convenience foods replaced improvisation with instructions. Many people today can follow recipes, but fewer know how to create meals from whatever is available in the kitchen. The skill of adaptability quietly vanished. Number 14. Repairing roofs and walls by hand. A leaking roof in 1935 did not mean calling a contractor. Families climbed ladders and fixed it themselves. Wooden shingles were replaced one by one. Cracks in walls were patched with homemade plaster. Barn doors were rehung with salvaged hinges. Rural schools once taught practical building repair because maintaining shelter was considered basic survival knowledge. As suburban life expanded after the war, home maintenance became outsourced labor instead of personal responsibility. Entire industries grew around jobs families once handled on weekends. First pattern break. Here is what connects all these skills. Every one of them reduced dependence on outside systems. A family that could repair clothing, preserve food, maintain tools, and grow crops needed far less money to survive hard times. That independence created stability. But an economy built on constant consumption depends on the opposite. Skills that once saved families money slowly disappeared, while products and services took their place. Repair became replacement. Knowledge became subscription. Self-reliance became inconvenience. The change felt like progress because it arrived slowly, one convenience at a time. Number 13. Navigating without technology. Before GPS and smartphones, Americans memorized roads, landmarks, river crossings, and stars. Truck drivers could travel across multiple states using paper maps and memory alone. Hunters navigated forests by studying tree lines and creek beds. Children understood direction naturally because they spent time outdoors constantly. Modern navigation systems made travel easier, but they also weakened spatial memory. Many people today cannot drive across their own city without digital guidance. The roads did not become more confusing. People simply stopped practicing orientation. Number 12. Repairing shoes instead of replacing them. During the Depression, shoes were expensive enough that families repaired them repeatedly. Soles were patched, leather was stitched, boots were resoled by local cobblers who knew every customer by name. Children often inherited repaired shoes from older siblings. Today, damaged shoes are usually discarded because replacement is cheaper than repair. Entire neighborhoods once supported cobblers. Now the trade survives mostly as a niche craft. Number 11. Collecting and storing rainwater. Rural Americans once treated rainfall as a resource too valuable to waste. Rain barrels stood beside nearly every farmhouse. Cisterns stored water underground through dry months. Families understood drainage, runoff, and filtration naturally because survival depended on it. Modern plumbing made water invisible. Turn the faucet and it appears. But when droughts or infrastructure failures happen, most households realize they no longer know how to secure clean water independently. Number 10. Preserving heat in winter. Keeping warm before central heating required constant planning. Families sealed windows with cloth and paper. Heavy curtains trapped warmth indoors. Wood stoves were carefully managed so fuel lasted through freezing nights. Children slept under quilts sewn from years of reused fabric scraps. Heat was precious because fuel required labor. Today, entire homes are warmed with a thermostat switch, but very few people know how to stay warm safely if electricity disappears for a week. Number 9. Neighborhood trade networks. During hard times, communities once functioned like informal survival systems. Neighbors exchanged labor, food, and tools constantly. One family repaired machinery, another baked bread, another raised chickens. Skills were shared locally instead of purchased globally. But modern consumer culture replaced community reliance with individual purchasing. People stopped depending on neighbors because stores seemed easier. Then many neighborhoods lost the relationships that made resilience possible. Number 8. Identifying edible wild plants. Children growing up in rural America once recognized wild berries, medicinal herbs, and edible greens automatically. Dandelion leaves became salad. Blackberries were collected from roadside thickets. Wild onions flavored soups. Families understood which plants healed and which were poisonous because knowledge passed directly between generations. Today, many people cannot identify a single edible plant growing naturally around them. Number 7. Repairing mechanical equipment. Cars, tractors, and engines in the 1930s were simple enough that ordinary people repaired them themselves. A broken engine was opened, cleaned, adjusted, and rebuilt in home garages with basic tools. Modern machines became more computerized and sealed. Repair shifted from owners to specialists with diagnostic software. What was once ordinary mechanical literacy became professional expertise. Second pattern break. The disappearance of these skills changed more than daily life. It changed psychology. People who know how to fix problems feel less fear during uncertainty. Families who understand food, water, repair, and shelter remain calmer during shortages because they trust their own abilities. Dependency creates anxiety because survival feels controlled by systems far away and completely outside personal control. The more knowledge people surrendered, the more fragile modern life became. Number 6, preserving seeds for future harvests. Every farming family once saved seeds from their strongest crops. Corn kernels were dried carefully for spring planting. Bean seeds were stored in glass jars through winter. Generations shaped plant varieties perfectly suited for local climates. Commercial seed industries replaced that system with annual purchasing. What families once produced freely became something bought repeatedly year after year. Number 5, building community through shared labor. Barn raisings, harvest crews, quilting circles, and shared food preparation once tied communities together through practical work. These gatherings were not entertainment. They were survival mechanisms disguised as social traditions. People who worked together trusted one another during emergencies. Modern isolation weakened those connections until many communities became collections of strangers living side by side. Number 4, making household cleaners from simple materials. Vinegar, baking soda, salt, lemon, and soap once cleaned nearly everything inside a home. Families mixed their own cleaning solutions for pennies. Then specialized cleaning products flooded the market, promising scientific superiority for every surface imaginable. The old methods still worked exactly as before. They simply stopped being advertised. Number 3, basic first aid and home treatment. Before hospitals became central to daily life, families handled minor injuries themselves. Cuts were cleaned and bandaged at home. Fevers were managed with rest and hydration. Burns were treated immediately with practical remedies learned from older generations. Public health systems improved medicine dramatically, but they also weakened household confidence. Many people today panic over problems their great-grandparents managed calmly at the kitchen table. Number 2, building emergency food reserves. Depression-era homes quietly stored months of food. Flour, beans, canned vegetables, smoked meat, and root vegetables filled shelves and cellars because shortages were expected eventually. Modern supply chains created the illusion that stores would always remain full. Then emergencies revealed how quickly shelves empty when deliveries stop for only a few days. Number 1, solving problems without buying something. This was the foundation beneath every other skill. Earlier generations approached problems by asking, what can we make, repair, reuse, or adapt? Modern culture trains people to ask, what should we purchase? That shift changed everything. It transformed citizens into consumers. It replaced resilience with dependency. And once a society forgets how to solve problems without spending money, every crisis becomes more dangerous than it needs to be. The truth is, these skills never fully disappeared. Small communities still preserve them. Older generations still remember them. And every economic downturn reminds people why they mattered in the first place. The knowledge is not gone forever. It is simply waiting for someone willing to learn it again.